Welcome to Arbitrage Trade. I am Royce Wells, and I am going to show you the Arbitrage Band trading system. Let me turn a few things off and get us back to the start, and I will show you guys how to use the system. The Arbitrage Band system was originally created about 7 or so years ago, and it was in response to someone saying that there are no patterns in the stock market. If you've ever traded Forex or trades in general, you've heard of Fibonacci patterns, you've heard of pivot points, you've heard of all kinds of stuff. So I wanted to take a stab at see what I could find in the system. So I'm going to turn off all of the different settings that we have turned on to get you back down completely to the basics. And the basic is the system is primarily based upon, I can even turn off the candle so you don't even see that. So basically the system is based upon this black line staying within this orange band. And what it does is basically, when the black line gets to the edge of the band, it's overbought. When it gets to the bottom of the band, it's oversold. So we are taking advantage of knowing that the half, which is that black line, is roughly half the value of that orange center line. And basically, since the half can never outdo the whole, that moving average can never outdo the deviation of one full deviation of one full iteration of the system. So with that being true, that allows us to play this guy and monopolize upon every trend accordingly. Because it's always a compare and contrast system, we always want to know if we're doing well, if we're doing poorly. That led us to discover our compass line. Basically, the compass line was big enough and small enough to allow us to know when to get in the trade or when to get out of the trade. Currently, I'm on the 4-hour chart, and I'm going to adjust this down to the 15-minute chart, but it really doesn't matter. No matter which time frame you're playing on, it allows you to know when to be in the trade or when to not be in the trade. So as long as the blue line is sitting above the black line, we're in the trades for whatever may come, and if it's below, then we're in a sell for whatever may come until it crosses back over. I like visual cues, so typically I turn on show exits. You can turn on show exits because if you have the arbitrage indicator on TradingView, you can click the gear and literally just click the checkbox show exits, and it will turn on those red and green triangles. Those red and green triangles only show when that blue line crosses over the black line or crosses under. Over or under, that's the only time you get green triangles or red triangles. So literally people can play from green to red if they so choose. But so if you got in here and you got out there, basically you did make money from here to there. Some people like to make more money than that. That led me to actually bring on one more moving average, which is basically we brought on the momentum's moving average. And basically it dances with the compass line. And so anytime we see that the blue line is actually underneath the red average, then that means that the trend is no longer in an uptrend, and that is your first warning that the trend may be turning against you. And you can see that it did, and then eventually it turned back. Once it's back over, you can get back in, back under. You don't want to be there because it's not moving at the right speed. We have additional indicators that lets us know when stuff like this happens, as when this trend is going to break, whether it's going to top sideways or bottom, or will it be able to sustain this trend. And if you're just playing from green triangle to red triangle, then you just play from green to red. Don't overthink it, and literally just play from what start point and end point you decide. Whatever discipline you adopt, make sure you stick to that discipline. The arbitrage band system is made up of 5 bands. So this is the smallest band, and this is called the arbitrage band. The largest band is called the apocalypse band. It's called the apocalypse band because it has predicted every single major crash. Even I think we should be able to see Brexit on this guy. And oh look, 2016. Actually, it called it before Brexit even happened. So yeah, starting January 6th, or January, I'm sorry, December 24th of 2015 looks like where's where that arrow tripped off. It says get out of the Great British Pound. It was at 180 on the daily chart. And if you were in a sell, you caught nothing but pips as it made it down, way down to 120 range. Talking about, yeah, you can probably could have retired off of that fall. And then when it told you to get back in, you got back in for a little ride at 147 and then went back under 146. And we've been playing Dancing with the Line for the last 2 or 3 years as we finally made it to Brexit. Brexit happened January of this year, the 31st, and currently looks like it's testing this line, trying to see if it wants to go back under. If it does fall back under, we should get back possibly to 136 range, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go back to the indicators. All right. So if we're using this, we like to be able to know when to get in and when to get out. So we have our red triangle and our green triangle to get us there. The second thing that we have the ability to do is show deviations. Deviations basically lets us know when you're getting to the edge of the system. This system is based 100% upon statistics and probability. With that being said is if you actually touch that red line, you have a 0.0001% chance of being able to stay outside of that red line. So up here, there wasn't much room to go. So quite literally for the next from 13 all the way to 15, you just would have been holding the bag. So that's a 2-year hold when your money could have been doing something else. So this allowed us to actually bring in another indicator called Atlas. Atlas lets us know ahead of time what's going on with the system. And by default, it's set to the arbitrage band. But if we're going to be using the Atlas in conjunction with the band instead of the Atlas standing alone, which you can, by the way, always set it one above. So if I'm using the Apocalypse band for the band, for Atlas, I'm going to be using Advance. And what that does is it gives us foreshadowing. It lets us see when things are going to go bad before they actually get horrible. So before we give up any money, it actually starts to show the chinks in the armor. We got red, we got red, we got red. So literally it's just hovering there and we see and we know that our pink line can't leave the top of the band. So literally it's only a matter of time before it falls. So Atlas allows us to see that. Some people, like I said, play with only the Atlas on, and how that works is I'm going to turn off these additional things that are on by default. Some people literally play from when it turns green, you get in, and when it turns red, you get out. There is nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, you would have made a lot of money. So literally from 120 all the way up to the first time it turned red, that's once again retirement level money you could have made if you would have been able to stay in for about 2 years on the Great British Pound, going from 120 to 180. Right? Some people still want the confirmations from the band, and we did add that in our latest revision of the system. And what that is, basically, you get a green arrow letting you know it's time to get in, and that green arrow actually shows up after the band has already turned green, so you have a confirmation of, yes, I could be in, but there's my confirmation. So if I got that plus the green arrow, it's time to get in. Likewise, once I goes red, I'm still waiting for my red arrow. Got my red arrow. Okay, it's really time to go. So it saves us from being jittery and getting out before all of the trend is over. And likewise, inverse of that, if you're in a sell, you're waiting for the confirmation so that way make sure you're there for the fall. And if I turn these candles back on, You didn't catch anything, and when it was time to fall, it literally was letting you know it was time to fall. All right. So from Atlas, we have another indicator we call level. And I'm going to circle back and explain how we use the Arbitrage Band website and Arbitrage Trade website to monopolize on these perfect setups. All right, so I'm going to turn on Level Pro first, and Level Pro works exactly like this. As long as we are above the line, then we're in a buy. If we are below the line, we should be in a sell. End of story. Quite simply. So remember I told you guys that there are 5 bands. So between the Arbitrage band all the way to the Apocalypse band, those are all the bands that we are paying attention to. But there are actually 11 total frequencies in this system. So what I'm going to do is, since once again, if I'm using Advanced on Atlas, I'm going to set my Level Pro to also be Advanced, so that way I have my confirmation set up accordingly. So as long as this pink line is above, we should be in a buy. The moment I see it's underneath, and he's red, and he's got the red triangle, we have 3 confirmations that we should be in the sell, then we'd go into the sell. Once again, we use the same thing. He turned green, I got my green arrow, he got back above the line. Okay, we're good, let's go again. So literally, once you can dial the indicators into whichever frequency that you're using, you can be successful with this system. Confirmations are our friend. Without them, you will possibly lose money because you'll probably be playing the wrong way if the trend has not been confirmed. All right, so now I'm going to turn on the bands again and go away from Atlas just for a second to show you guys how we use the arbitrage band trading system to find trends that are in progress. So I'm going to actually, inside of here, since I have the band on, I'm a minimalist, so I usually like to have as little on as possible. So I will probably turn off my momentum line, turn off my compass, have just the band on, and have just exits on so I can see literally no fanfare, time to get in, time to get out. It's as simple as possible. But I like to also be able to watch the smallest trend as well as the largest trend. So saying that, I'm going to actually add a second band to the system. And that's my arbitrage band. So now I have the smallest band on and the largest band, but I'm going to do the exact same thing to this guy, turn on basically where it's just the band and it's just the exits or not, right? And how we use this is basically if we know where that black line is in our arbitrage band, and we know where that pink line in our apocalypse band is, we can actually find out if it's absolutely time to buy or absolutely time to sell. So wouldn't it be great to be able to say, hey, this guy triggered a sell on the arbitrage band, and this guy was sitting at the top of the band, and be able to ride all of this down and be able to monopolize on all of this fall? I think it would be kind of great. So we have the ability to do that. That's what these danger zones are. The danger zone lets us know when that black line is running out of room, and also if I turn on the apocalypse band, lets us know when that pink line is out of room. So I'm going to go to the arbitrage band, our arbitrage trade website. And I'm going to, since we're playing with Forex pairs, and this is on production, I'm going to show you guys what time frame were we on? We were on the daily time frame. So I'm going to go to the daily time frame on arbitrage. And since I'm on a daily time frame, I'm going to say, yes, tell me if that black line is sitting in that lower danger zone. And yes, is he sitting in the apocalypse band's lower danger zone? So if I look at TRY, JPY, both of those are true. So if I type TRY, JPY, I should see that this guy, and if I zoom way in, I see that he's literally at the bottom and he's literally at the bottom. So now all I'll be waiting for is my green triangle on this guy to say it's time to buy. And I'll be able to catch this guy from $18. And since I know that pink line can't leave the bottom of the band, this guy's going to give me at least $1.50. That's powerful information. And I'm expecting that $1.50 within the next 3 to 6 months. And we know that because of our windows of opportunity. So actually, it's not even 3 to 6, it's 1 to 3 months. How about them apples? So yeah, 1 to 3 month trade, and I make $1.50 on a pair. And if I use my leverage like I'm supposed to, that's a lot of money. If I even show deviations, it should show that, yes, literally has to make it to the edge of the band, which is the edge of the band. No rules were broken. It's more than possible, and it will happen. So literally, we have the ability to do this on any time frame with any pair inside the Forex system. This allows us to plan our weeks, plan our months, plan our day around the trades that we want to trade. Since the market is open now, I can literally do this. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. We're not going to shoot too far from the hip now. And so if I'm looking for something I can trade immediately, I would literally type the word yes here. And if I'm trying to do buys, I'm always in the lower danger zone. If I'm trying to do sells, I'm always in the upper danger zone. So literally, there are 13 that are ready to buy right now as the market is opening. It's saying the US 30 versus the US dollar, the Russell 2000 versus the US dollar, the New Zealand dollar. Any of these guys are ready. So let's get NZD USD. Just picking a random one in there, and I'm going to go down to the 15-minute chart, and there you have it. He's sitting there. I didn't even qualify this guy. All we're waiting for is a green triangle to tell us, yes, go do this. And in the new version of the system, there are alerts that are coming that will allow you to key into any of this stuff. So in our alerts, this is brand new, so this is not released yet, but by the time the next seminar, the next demo is done, this will be available to everyone that's using Forex and the Forex market. So you'll literally be able to pick if you're using Atlas or the Arbitrage Band, Level, or RSI, and depending on your membership, you'll be able to see TSB as well as Omega, as well as Control, which is our newest indicator that is coming. Likewise, for a bird's eye view, if you click on Forex, this will all be available by the end of the week. You can literally say, okay, once you have your alerts set to where you want them, you'll be able to literally cafeteria plan, like, okay, I want to watch this one and this one and this one, and pick which ones you want to watch, and then you're set for the week or month or whichever frequency you're playing. But all the pairs are there, and they are changing, and they're showing real time which ones are ready to buy and which ones are ready to sell based on the time frequency that you want to play on. There will be a legend to tell you what these colors mean, whether it's small band or large band, or getting ready or are ready, accordingly. But we're trying to make it really easy to just literally in less than 10 minutes, set up your alerts, go pick your pairs, and now you just wait for the alerts to come in to tell you when to buy and sell. Likewise, on our roadmap, as we get this, there is something called automation that's coming. Inside of automation, behind this tab, you'll have the ability to connect your Forex.com, Owanda.com, as well as Hugo's Way to the Arbitrage Band system, and literally it will be a one-button trade. So literally, you get the alert, you click the button to trade it, it gets you in, and then the system takes it from autopilot at that point. It will get you out at the safest confirmed exit. And so literally, every time you get in, you have to tell it to get in, but at that point, getting out is a piece of cake. It'll always pick the best exit for you. And all that's coming before the end of the month. So literally less than 20 days. Likewise, we have a mobile app that's coming. So, and that will be connected to the website as well. So the alerts and your settings that you save here, you'll also be able to see from your phone to give you the exact same look and feel. So that way you set what you want alerts on. You set it one time. You go pick your pairs one time, or if you're updating one time, it's there one time. And then once you have them selected, you'll be able to go, this is beta, you'll be able to go and see how they're progressing. You'll be able to remove them from your watch list, and you'll see how they're doing. Likewise, if you're playing stocks, the same things will be available for the 15-minute, 1 hour, and 1 day. So literally, you don't want to trade anymore, just remove it from your list. If you want to trade or add something else, just click Forex to re-add it. And pick whichever ones if you decide to mix it up a little. Does anyone have any questions or anything that they think I should touch on that I have not touched on? Actually, I'm going to show you guys one more thing before I open up the floor. Give me 1 second. Inside of TradingView, all those alerts that you have inside of Arbitrage, you also have in these indicators inside of TradingView. So if you click the alarm clock and you do have a paid subscription to TradingView, you will be able to click the plus side to manage your alerts. You will pick, for example, if you're using Level Pro, you can ask if the advanced band went negative or positive or compass or any of the bands that you're interested in goes negative or positive. You have the ability to control that directly from here. If you're using Arbitrage, you can actually set, okay, it should be long or short. We literally removed almost all the alerts out of the Arbitrage band in favor of Atlas, so that way you can set everything that you want as you want. But if you just want to do long or short, or if you're interested in any of our strategies, that you have the ability to exit all or exit half. So there are exits along the way where basically it's like you've been in the trade for so many candles and you're up so much of a percent. It's suggesting that you take half it off the table. So no matter what, even if it turns completely against you, you will not go under. We even have we have an alert for that. So that's what the exit half is. And then if exit all, literally the other triangle has said it's time to go, or it's about to tell you it's time to go, and we let you know that it's time to go in one way or another. The only trick to the TradingView alerts is you have to select once per bar close. Once you select once per bar close, that will prevent phantom alerts. So that way you won't be notified repeatedly for something that you don't see on the chart. Basically, once that's set, once the bar closes, once the arrow is permanent, that's when you get your alert. So if you're on a 15-minute chart, it can take up to 15 minutes to confirm that it has crossed and it said buy or sell. But that's it. That's all you have to do. All the indicators that we have in the system, we have about, I want to say 20, but at the novice level, I think you guys have access to 4. Actually, I'm going to show you one more because I think we did miss one. The RSI, this is a typical RSI, except that it, once again, is using our frequencies and whatnot. Basically, remember I told you guys everything is based on the compass. And because it's based on the compass, if the compass gets overbought or oversold, we can actually see that because it goes out of bounds. And we even have the ability to say, okay, this guy's getting overbought or oversold. And how I play the system, I don't leave when it first goes oversold. I leave when it comes back in bounds. So what that means is the moment I see that basically it's saying it's going to turn on me, I leave. So basically, oversold, I will go into a buy. If I'm being aggressive, the moment I see it goes back in, and I may be able to get a trend before actually anyone else sees it. So I got here, and notice that's right as it's at the very bottom, and it's going back in. So I got to monopolize on this small window of profit while everyone else may have gotten in and then may have gotten slightly burned. It all depends on how you want to do it, but I want to make sure that you guys, if you are a risk taker, I want to show you every single possibility to make profit with the time and the candles that you have. And once again, alerts are available for all of this. So once again, you can click the alarm clock, click the plus, set it to RSI, and overbought or oversold correction, you can literally tell it, hey, it's coming back in and drew that red X or that green X and telling me it's overbought or oversold. Let me know so I can monopolize on those windows of opportunity. Every part of this game is being able to monopolize and see and be fast or slow enough to play it as you like it. So, for example, people have asked, like, okay, how did you guys play Ethereum and know to get back in when it was like at 120-ish, right? We knew and saw this because we were on the daily time frame. We had this guy set to daily, and on the daily time frame, when this guy was sitting at 130-ish, we got our entry on January the 8th, and it said buy 139. It's sitting at 227. You almost doubled your money. All you had to do was be a part of the system. Same thing is true for BTC USD. Once you realize that this happens and it occurs at every frequency, no matter what the time frame, whether it's daily or weekly, the longer you can afford to stay in, the more money you make in the system. So if I can ride a 1 to 3 month Bitcoin rally and ride it from literally 7,300 to over 10,000, I just made $3,500, even if I bought just one coin, right? That's not a bad ride. It was a month, I made $3,000. Hey, that's better than a daytime job, right? So the longer you can stay in, the more you will make in the system and the more rewarding arbitrage will be to you. All right. So I'm going to wrap it up. Unless you guys have any questions, please feel free to jump in and ask. If not, we're going to call it a day. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time at our regularly scheduled 2 p.m. Central Time seminar. You guys have a great one.